If you were in my shoes, what would you do? What would you do? Well, I'm going to say hi to the people that follow me every day. I just love and appreciate them so much. And this is also a way where I get super chats to give more money to orphans. So let me call them out really quick. I got Kai, I have Bill Shoemaker, the Healthinator. I got James, I got Jody, um, Deborah. I love and appreciate you guys all. And we got 15 seconds here, and we'll go ahead and get started. Again, James, I just appreciate you for your monthly membership. And Melody Ryba, now I can start. My uh, incredible partner. Yeah. So here we go. Here we go. If you were in my shoes, what would you do? Seriously, what would you do? Now, I want to share with each and every one of you just a really quick story. Please, it will be quick. I wasn't that smart in school. And so I ended up, I'm dyslexic. So I ended up in special classes. And really early in my life, I liked fixing bicycles and go-karts and motorcycles and snowmobiles and even automobiles. And so one of my uncles told me, hey, listen, go to trade school. And I did get a mechanics degree and then get a job being a mechanic and work your brains out. I did that exactly. I followed that, through my 20s. And like a video I did yesterday, which was did everyone lie to me? Is everyone lying? I found myself in my mid 20s going, oh my God, there's got to be more to life than this. And I still don't know. I think it was a decision. Some people say that, thoughts are things, and I just lost my belief and passion. I even, we had a professional race car and moved out to California to actually race that car. And I just, hey, I was over it. I got the t-shirt. There's a funny phrase that I love saying, you know how to make a small fortune in drag racing, start out with a large one. Now there is that, 0.1% of people like John Force. He's 74 years old and he just won his 156th race. Crazy. I think he's a 15-time world champion. So you always find people that dedicate everything to something and they are definitely doing above average. So what happens to me is I am in the wrong place at the wrong time. I think I'm smart enough. I seen a Toyota van and we took four tires off of it, started to tip. My first response, not a good one, was to stop it from tipping. I actually thought that I could, stop it from tipping. I lost, crazy. And the van came off the hoist, sort of pinned me against my toolbox and hyperextended my knee. And in a blink of an eye, I'm sure a lot of you have had some bad things that have happened to you in your life. And I had this doctor with a coat that said, wow, are you a mechanic? And I said, yeah. And he says, not anymore. You're not going to be able to support your weight with this leg. And I'm just like, I believed everything that he said. And so in an instant, my identity is taken away. I'm not a mechanic. I'm living on workman's comp, $900. I'm getting, quit or pay notices for my apartment. I don't have any electricity. I got a pawn loan on my used car and I was behind payments on that. And I was like, honestly, I'm just being brutally honest. At that moment in my life, I always tell people that there's something that breaks you, something that just goes, I'm not living like this anymore. And my oldest son now is 42. Holy cow. And to think that I was driving my car with him, picking him up at the babysitter, and I stopped to the shoulder of this road and we got out. And he's like, Dad, he said, if you went up a couple more blocks and hung a left just down a little bit, our apartment's there. And I did not know how to say, chokes me up still to this day. I didn't know how I could lie to my son, right? How do I explain to him that there was things that happened in my life where if I park in my parking lot, our car will disappear. You know what I mean? So then all of a sudden, I'm feeling really bad. They didn't get the surgery right on my knee. So I had to go back to get a second surgery. And so I tell my girlfriend that's been with me for 40 years now, but back then it was for a few years. And I just told her, listen, you need to go back to Montana and find a guy that can take care of you. Just stupid, but that was a mindset I was in. Then the second thing is, my son now has to live with his mother, and we were divorced really early, got married super young, and she didn't want to be married anymore, and I said okay, and so I'm never going to get married again. Yeah, so now I'm in a apartment with a pay or quit notice, and I don't know. See, and then all of a sudden, when the workman's comp says, you know what, Bobby, because I was Bobby on a mechanic, if you don't show us that you're going out for job interviews, then we're going to stop paying you. The other one was, if you're not going to make a decision to learn a total new career. I was like, all I know is a mechanic. So I can't tell you how low I was at that point in my life, but I was at the lowest, right? And I know that some of you may disagree with this, but this is my story, so it is what it is. At that time, I just basically got down on the one knee, the other one's in the cast, and I basically just yell out to whatever's out there. And I'm just saying, if you were trying to get my attention, oh, woe is me. I don't know why this happened to me. Wham, wham, victim, victim, blame, 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 blame. Everything's got to change but me. And I go, if you want me to do anything, just let me know. I'm here. And I really remember cutting one of those deals, right? Where, hey, listen, whoever's up there, God, if you get me out of this situation, I promise you, I'll dedicate the rest of my life to showing people how you got me out. And I'll give to charity. I'll do everything. Just please, please help me get out of this. And if you want to read the story or listen to the story for free, you can go to roberthollis.com/free and get a digital copy of my book. And there's also places on the internet that you can find, like Audible, that has it in Spanish as well. And listen to it. There's even YouTube where you put in, how is that working by Robert Hollis, and you'll find people that actually did the audios on the book. And it's my rags to riches story. So that is what I do. I just go, hey, hey, hey. It was like a week, maybe a few days later, a week, where a guy that I met, his name was Sean Hennigan. I write about him in the book, been talking about him for 37 years. And he reached out to me and he says, hey, Bobby, how you doing? You know what I mean? And I lied to him. I talked about that yesterday. Is everyone lying? And I said, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. What a lie. I wasn't doing great. I just told you how I'm doing. But of course, my pride and my ego, EGO, edging got out. I'm not going to let anybody know I'm doing bad, right? I guess I'm just pretending I'm lying to myself. And he called me, he said, how are you doing? Great. And he goes, listen, Bobby, you're not going to believe this. I met a guy. He showed me his check. It was $62,000 plus. And it was in a company envelope attached to the stub. And he showed me this check. And he says, do you know of anyone? Do you know of anyone that they don't need experience or anything? And I will teach them, if they follow my training and my proven system, they can make $100,000 a year their first year with me. In fact, I've already done it with a number of people. And he showed pictures of them with this guy, Bill, and along with their check. And so he was helping people with no experience, make $10,000 in their first 30 days. And so Sean said, do you know of anyone? I was like, me. See, that's when you know that you find the right people at the right time. I said me, not what is this? You know what I mean? I got some questions. No, I want to meet this guy. I know Sean wasn't making the money. He was a comedian for traffic school in the city of LA. I just love him. And I reach out to him every once in a while and just tell him, thank you for having the courage and thank you for having the bravery to reach out and give praise and recognition and flowers to this guy to make me get excited enough to go meet him. And so the rest is history. When I went and met him, I watched a short video. It made sense to me. And I love that he said, if it makes sense, it makes dollars. That's a shout out to Fred Herzog, a very dear friend of mine that's no longer with us, right? And he showed me this plan, this little plan, where the reason he was making $62,000 is because he had over 30,000 people responsible for his income. Now you got to understand that when I met this guy, I've never heard of the word entrepreneur. I've never understand marketing. I never ever did any kind of sales. I was an auto mechanic. And he told me that he would show me word for word, step by step on how to do this. And I didn't have nothing else going on. So I'm all in. I go, okay, tell me what to do. He goes, Robert, what would you do with this check? Oh my God. My mind. He goes, you deposit it. It's not pending anymore. It's in your account. What would you do? First thought, I'd get my electricity turned back on. I'd pay up on the payments for my car. I'd get caught up on my rent. That's what I would do. I would pay down some of my debt. And he goes, okay, that's not really exciting. You're back to zero. What else would you do? And I said, I was really, really stupid. And I told my girlfriend that she needed to move from LA back to Montana. And I love her and I miss her every single day. And I would like to go get an engagement ring, fly back. At this point in time, I don't think I've flown anywhere. I'd like to fly back and I'd like to propose to her and just pray that she says yes. And he goes, wow, that would be amazing. I said, yeah. And I said, I'd also be in financial where I could basically get my son to have him back with me. So I would get that done. And he goes, then what? And I said, I'd buy a reliable car. I've never had a new car. So I'd like a reliable car for Terry. She's now been with me for 40 years. And I also would like a reliable car for me. And he goes, awesome. So if you do exactly what I tell you to do, this is what I want you to do. Is now that you're excited and you got your imagination up there and you know how you'd feel when these things happen, all I need you to do is sort. You just need to sort. If I hired you as a pearl finder, I'm going to get a bunch of divers to dive in the water and they're going to bring up, these oysters. And all I want you to do is take a penknife, open up the oyster, feel for the pearl, and I'm going to give you $1,000 for every pearl. And he goes, so don't take it personal when you open up an oyster and there's nothing there. Don't call me and say this one doesn't have a pearl. Just go through the thousands and thousands and thousands of oysters to find a pearl. And I went, got it. And he says, so walk up to people, introduce yourself. Hi, my name's Robert. Do you work around here? Yeah. Listen, I was wondering if you could do me a huge favor. Exactly what Sean Hennigan did to me. And I said, listen, do you know of anyone right now with a proving system and training, no experience necessary, that would like to make $100,000 a year? And people would always go, what is this? And I go, if you're interested, I'd like to get your phone number. And then I will call you when you get home, no cell phones, no internet. And I will set up a time for you to see this individual that is teaching me how to do this business, because you'll be working with them directly, not me. I'm just working with them to find people that are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And when I told you that, I didn't know how to lie to my son. I just went, I'm not living like this anymore. I'm done. I'm done being a victim. I'm done making excuses. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not living like this anymore. And that was this decision that changed my life. And so now when I meet somebody and they show me exactly what to do, he made me a goal. Hey, Robert, I bet you can't get 70 people to watch this video. And it was a VHS tape, same one I seen when I met him. So they introduced the tape. I watched the tape. Then afterwards, this guy come up to me and said, where do you see yourself getting started? I said, I don't have a dime. I don't have a dime. He goes, if I could show you how to make money without you investing a dime, would you be interested? And I said, yes. So I get involved in this opportunity that I find out that it's 150 years old. Watkins Spices started it, right? And there's been companies that have been doing this for hundreds of years. And this is very simply people that buy product at wholesale, and instead of buying it from Walmart, Target, Costco, or Amazon. And they can actually, change their buying power. And then when they love the product, they can share their affiliate link and other people can move their buying power. And all of us combined, could make a difference in ours and other people's lives. And ladies and gentlemen, I knew nothing, so I couldn't criticize. I couldn't do anything. I just decided to do what he told me. And I introduced it to 72 people in my first 30 days. And out of those 72 people, 11 of them decided to get started, and do exactly what my mentor taught me. They learned from him. I just plugged them into him. I made over $10,200 my very first month. Within the next year and a half, I became a national marketing director. That was their highest commission position. And I made $1 million before the age of 30. And he told me, Robert, if you just learn everything there is to learn about this industry, uh, you'll be able to go to company to company to company, just like a professional athlete goes from team to team to team. Because every company either creates or invents a product or service. And you know what they all need? Sales. They all need sales. This is word of mouth referral program. And, like MCI, friends and family. And I didn't put any more thought into it. Now, the majority of the people, I would say it's high as 9 out of 10 people. No, thanks. I'm a know-it-all. I have an ego. I'm not doing that. It was easy for me to understand that a majority of people would say no. So in the title of this video, what would you do if you were in my shoes? If you were in my shoes. And now all of a sudden, I lift my head up and I've helped thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people all over the world in 200 countries get an extra income into their family. Probably over 10,000 of them have made over 100 grand. And I got 67 of them that have earned over $1 million in commissions. And 9 of those people actually started their own company and have made billions of dollars, including helping a lot of people. And I say all this to say this is 6 years ago, my wife decided to get involved in the company, and said, honey, can you help me? And I said, I'll help you. You've helped me forever. I'll help you. And in the last 6 years, listen to this. She not only achieved the position of super affiliate, but now she's made over 4.8 million. Let me give you some averages. That would be 6 years of 800,000 plus a year average. Her best year, 1.2 million. 30,000 plus people in her organization that's responsible for her income. If you wanted to do a daily average, that's over $2,200 a day, every day for 6 years. And company's 10 years old. It's debt free. You can get in for free. And I will share with you step by step, word for word, to do exactly what I do. And if you do it, you'll get results. So I've helped, 3 people get this plaque, $1 million in commissions with this company in the last 6 years, thousands of people again that have totally replaced their income. And here's what the title's about. If you knew all this evidence and you could see it all documented, what would you do in my shoes today? What would you do or say to somebody that, I just heard the economy, inflation went back up. It was on every news. Fast food is raising their income. People are financially hurting really, really bad right now. And I'm asking you, I'm asking you for your help. Seriously. What would you say and do if you were in my shoes with 37 years of evidence and documentation and hundreds of years of documentation of this industry where you get to compound and make residual income? You guys all know the Seinfeld, right? Jerry Seinfeld, Larry David. They became billionaires off residual income. Every time the show's watched. When I worked as a mechanic, no one talked about residual income. I just made linear income. I didn't understand like a real estate broker or a real estate agency that I could have brokers and the brokers had agents. And if I was the owner of that franchise, that I would make a percentage of every house. So this leverage and compounding and helping other people. Zig Ziglar goes down in history for saying this, but it's written in almost every religious book out there. If you help other people get what they want out of life, you will get everything you want out of your life. And I'm a living example and evidence that happens. So again, I'm begging you, I'm asking you to do me a huge personal favor, a kindness I'd really appreciate. Do you know anyone that can get out of their way to unlearn, to relearn? It cracks me up that you see all these influencers like Kylie Jenner and Mr. Beast. Me and Coach Bob were talking about this today. There's people like Logan Paul and Jake Paul and Mr. Beast that are online that make millions of dollars by sharing an affiliate link. Are you listening to me? And now you can go to Walmart and buy Mr. Beast chocolate. You can buy Logan Paul's Prime drink. You can buy Kylie Jenner makeup. Do you guys understand that there's another world out there in affiliate marketing where I can show you and teach you how to build a following of people that you each and every day put them in a better position than they were before you met them? 200 countries, 12,000 products, like a mini Amazon. So what would you say? What would you do? Honestly, help me to get it across to me. I want you to imagine that you're in my position. What would you say to me? What would you show me? What would you do to get it through to my head that in a matter of years, a matter of months, they go by anyway, right? 12 months will go by no matter what. That you could put me in a position where I could not only have freedom, but I could have money to give to charities and take care of my family and do all the things that I've imagined. What would you say to me? What would you do to me or for me to get me to get it? Because for some reason, a majority of the people don't. They got going to school and got good grades. They got, going to extended college and certifications. They got getting a job, but they can't get influencer. They can't get affiliate marketing. Do you know today you could go online and you got to do this? Don't take my word for this, but you could be an affiliate for Amazon. You could be affiliate for YouTube, build a subscriber base. You could be affiliate for Microsoft, Apple, Tesla. These companies will allow you to be an affiliate for free. And you can share your affiliate link. And when people click on it and buy something, you get an extra income for you and your family. Now, those companies don't do compounding or residual or leverage. So if someone could show you what my mentors taught me, you could build it a little bit at a time. And like Amazon now has 200 million Prime members that make 35 billion a year. How many customers does Verizon have? How many customers does Netflix have? This simple principle. And it's now available to anybody that can find Wi-Fi. I have people that have made tens of thousands of dollars that live in Hungary and Romania, two of the poorest countries in Europe, Nigeria. I got people all over the world that will never work for a person ever again. So whatever you can say or do, if you were me to get to me, I'd pray to God you'd figure it out. Because it all goes back to that moment that I didn't no longer want to live that way. I asked for help and got introduced to people that I was just so much in desperation and was lower than a rug. I tell people all the time, I was so low, I had to play handball against a curb, reach up and tie my shoes. Yeah, things were awful and things were bad. But I would pray to whoever you pray to that you would say to me, or you would put me in front of videos of someone that had evidence, not only of their success, but evidence of them helping other people never work for anybody ever again. See, if you loved your job, you could keep it. But at least now you're doubling your income. Maybe you can retire your significant other, make sure your children are begging for money. But what would you say or do? I can't help people that know everything. The people that are illiterate in this day and age are people that don't realize that everything that they already know is not true. So they got to unlearn to relearn, work for profits instead of wages. Every one of you know that watch this video that there's people out there that make a full-time income and have freedom and they don't have a job. Now, a lot of them want to charge you money to coach them. I can show you everything step for step for free. So what would you say or do? Please reach out to me. Please make a comment, because there's a lot of people that believe what I do is not even legit when it's 170 years old. It's like, I understand if I told you, listen, I can show you how to be a mechanic, and you can go, I'm not interested. But being a mechanic is a way to make money. Being a plumber, being a lawyer, being a doctor, being a teacher, a professor, an accountant, a nurse. See, there's ways to make money, but if you don't think it's a good way to make money, that's fine. But don't be one of those people that are consistently saying, well, I'd never do that. And, there's a lot of doctors that oversubscribe or mess up a thing, and 200,000 people a day, I mean, a year die from doctors and nurses doing the wrong prescriptions or the wrong medication while people are in the hospital. That's not a reason not to be a doctor and not to be a good one. There's good lawyers, there's good accountants. But what a lot of people do is they focus on the people that are the worst of those. See, I used to be the kind of person as well that, well, I don't want to make money because I'd have to pay more in taxes. Don't you find that interesting? That's the very first thing that people say about the lottery. Oh my God, $1 billion in lottery and the government takes half of it. You still have 500 million. Yeah, but I'm not going to play the lottery because, the government takes half. What? Unfortunately, a majority of the people don't know how to stop lying to themselves and listening to other people that are good at lying. The biggest awareness that we could have today is that with AI and the economy and the wars, that you learn to build your own economy. What I will show you how to do is recession proof. Did you hear me? It's recession proof. Because right now, when people are looking for a way to get their Netflix back or be able to go out to eat a couple times a month, right now the budgets of people they're going like, wow, there's got to be a different way to make money. And people are becoming more open-minded. So what would you say? What would you do to get through to me? Because Sean Hennigan introduced me to somebody that made more money than I thought possible. And then I listened to that individual that had more evidence than me and helping other people. And I just did what he did. And I got what he got. Isn't that the same way you would learn everything? Can you imagine learning from the person that's the world champion in darts that made $2 million last year from throwing darts? What if you were willing to not only believe that he knew what he was doing based on his evidence, but what if you were willing to do what he told you to do and you started practicing? Most people don't make it past the suck part. But if you got past the suck part and then you started becoming good, what makes you above average? And then you get gooder and gooder and gooder. And then all of a sudden, everyone you can beat in darts. And now it's how far can you take it? Maybe you just win local tournaments, but you have the possibility to become start imagining again. And when you can get into that imagine, I was sharing with people, my wife and I watched a trailer last night, and it's called If. And all these incredible actors are getting together to bring a movie out called The Imaginary Friend. It's sad that we had incredible imagination when we were young, and then we let the world beat it out of us. And now most people spend a majority of time scrolling and sharing stuff that make people not feel good, makes them angry, makes them frustrated, makes them give up hope, stop imagining, depressed. There is another world. I was taught when I was young that all wealthy people are bad people. No, they're not. So it's easy to know that, 18% of the people in the United States make 100 grand. 5% make 200 grand. 10% of the people in the world, 8 billion people, 10% of those make 100 grand or more. What are they doing that you're not doing? So I pray that you would share the books, share the videos, share with me videos and books of people that have evidence in helping other people. And the ones that do want to make up for the promises that they promise themselves and others, that they start dreaming again, they start using their imagination. And by helping others, you can actually get that imagination. In fact, you can actually create significant emotional events for you and your family that will be seared in your mind forever, of joy and peace and great memories that take your breath away. So I pray that you would do that for me and get me in front of the information so that I can make an educated decision. Because the majority of the people in the world make decisions without getting the knowledge or the education or the wisdom. Nah, that's stupid. That sounds too good to be true. Man, wouldn't you like that to be on your gravestone when you leave nothing to the people that you love? Maybe even leave them a little debt. And on your tombstone it said, I always thought it was too good to be true. So I believe in you. I love and appreciate you, even though I don't know you. Do me a huge favor and a kindness and share this video with others, because my goal is I got a lot of years left. And my goal is to be able to do what I promised 37 years ago, to find those that have ears to hear, to get them to imagine again, and to get them to start taking little baby steps. Like, what about Bob? Take little baby steps to see the results and start building an organization of like-minded people that they know life is expensive and they want to learn to monetize their life. It's simpler than you think, because if you knew what I knew, you would be, let's do this. If not now, when? If not who, then you. Right? It's like, this should be for somebody else. Really? So again, I appreciate you. Please check into our videos. I just realized that I think that I do nine lives, 10 lives. 10 times I'm live a week. 10 times. Some of them for 2 or 3 hours, because I will do everything in my power to get through to the people that are tired of living the life they're living. So again, if no one's giving you permission to be successful and happy and have peace and joy in your life, I'm giving it to you because my mentors did it for me. So bye for now, and we'll see you soon.